So in this video, we're going to show you how to restore one of your old canvas products. Here we have one of our wax canvas and wool blankets, which has gone through a hot wash, which you should never do. And here we have one of our new blankets straight off the shelf. So we're going to show you how to go from this to this. So I'm Brian from Journeyman Handcrafts. We specialise in manufacturing wax canvas gear. If you're watching this video, you probably want to know how to restore your wax canvas goods. Or you could be like Jason behind the camera, who's just got a brand new custom backpack and doesn't know how to maintain it yet. So what we have here is a blanket which has been stripped of all of its wax. This is a worst case scenario. Your products should never really get to this point. Normally you're going to need to re-wax your products after 1 to 2 years of hard use, just to give them a top up, but they should normally always have wax still in the fabric. This blanket accidentally got put in through a hot wash by one of our customers. You should never hot wash wax canvas because it totally strips the wax out of the products, like you can see here. If you do need to wash it, it needs to go through a cold wash. But it's a very good opportunity to show you how to re-wax a blank canvas, pun intended. Okay, so at journeymanhandcrafts.com we supply our wax in multiple different forms. Here we've got tins and we've got blocks. However, you can get it from multiple different companies and you can even make it yourself. The reason we've got it in 2 different applications is because of the way we're going to apply it to the products. It's a lot easier in 2 different formats. First we have the tin. The reason we have it in a tin is because you can put it onto a gas stove, warm it up until it's liquid, then use a brush to apply it onto small leather goods like knife sheaths, your boots, etc. It's easy application. Or you can use our blocks. Once out of the wrapper, you can cover a larger surface area a lot quicker physically when rubbing the block onto the product. This is ideal for things like blankets or rucksacks. For this scenario, we're going to use a block because we're going to be waxing this blanket. One quick note, we are shooting this video from our new workshop, which is on an industrial estate, so sorry for any of the background noise you might hear during this video. So while I'm showing you the block, I'm going to put one of our tins on the gas stove to get this down to a liquid form. It's not the ideal application for the blanket, but I just want to show you how it's done. So we're going to pop this on here and let that melt while we talk about blocks. So here's our block. Comes in a nice little grease-proof paper. Good for storage, because you shouldn't, I probably will use this whole block on this blanket, but generally speaking, if you're just topping up your blanket or topping up your backpack, which you'll do every year or 2, you shouldn't use a whole block, maybe half. So in terms of application, what we're going to do is we're just going to go at it. It's really easy, and this is why we have the blocks. The tins are a little bit more hard work, a little bit slower. So we're just going to rub it on there, and we can be very liberal with it, put some pressure down and get as much wax onto that dry canvas as physically possible. And you can really put some pressure down and let the wax build up. And now this one's ready. Turn that one off. Put that to one side. So you can see I've got loads of wax on there. Now what you can do if you don't have the ability to an external heat source, you can just rub this in with your hands, or you could just get a cloth and rub this in, create a little bit of a heat through friction, and it will melt in. However, if your products are very dry and you really want to get the wax to impregnate into the fibres of the fabric, you want an external heat source, because when you add an external heat source, that wax will melt and it will penetrate deeper into the fibres. Here we have a heat gun. I don't recommend a heat gun for you at home. It's safer and better if you use a hairdryer because it's not so hot. We've got a lot of experience here waxing canvas, so I feel very confident with a heat gun. But they do get hot and you could easily burn canvas if you're not careful. So with this, I'm going to hold it far away and you'll be able to see the wax melting into the canvas. Now this canvas is very dry, so we're going to have to go back for a couple of attempts. So we're going to, again, be very liberal with it, really pile it on there. And we're going to go again. And you can see now that it's really starting to change colour. There you go, see? I'd probably do that one more time and I'd be quite satisfied with the results there. But we've got the tin, so I'm going to show you the tin as well. I'm going to take a brush, and you want to be careful in this scenario because it could be quite easy to knock this tin off the stove and you'll have hot wax go everywhere. It's not exactly dangerous, but you just want to be careful because it makes a right mess. But if this was a leather sheath or a pair of boots, this would be a good way of getting a lot of wax, in a small area and really layering on thick. And you can see that in the close-up, that it really does go on nice and thick. However, you can also imagine how long it would take to do this on a blanket. We'll then apply heat and watch it melt away. And there you go. So that's how to use a tin versus how to use a block. They're both excellent, just in different applications. Something to mention is if there are any stitches, especially on bigger items like rucksacks and pouches, where there is a significant amount of stitching, it's a good idea to really layer on the wax quite thick there and allow it to melt into the stitching. It just helps to waterproof the bag because that's the areas where rain will penetrate through. So pay special attention to your stitching areas. So that gives you a good idea on how to apply wax to canvas. Now, when washing your products, never wash on a hot wash because this is what happens. In this scenario, the wax has been totally stripped out of the canvas. Not only that, but it's also shrunk the canvas, which means that the wool is now bigger than the canvas. So this product as a blanket no longer works. If you do need to wash your canvas, do your best to use a sponge and cold water just to wipe away any dirt that you might get while outdoors. However, blankets, for example, and rucksacks do get quite dirty because you're using them outside. So if you need to give them a proper wash, you can put them in the washing machine, but only put it on a cold wash. And do expect some stripping of wax because it's still going to happen. You will then need to do a full application of wax, but I'd like to think it won't look anywhere near as bad as this. Okay, so hopefully by the end of this video you now know and have a good understanding on how to either restore or maintain your wax canvas gear. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to keep an eye out for future videos coming out on A Great Alternatives channel because he's got a fantastic Q&A and another video regarding the Journeyman Handcraft workshop, etc. But most importantly, you definitely want to go and check out our wax canvas and wool blankets because I have no doubt you've got to the end of this video and you definitely want one. So go and check that out, journeymanhandcraft.com, and if you enjoyed the video, please comment, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.